Think your job is tough? Maybe you sit at a desk, drink some coffee, answer emails, and occasionally work overtime. But somewhere out there, there are people whose jobs aren't about deadlines or office politics. They're about survival. Literally. These are jobs where every day could be your last. Jobs where one wrong move means serious injury or even death. And yet people still do them. Today, we're counting down the 10 most dangerous jobs that still exist today. These are real people doing real work, risking their lives just to earn a paycheck. Let's get into it. Imagine waking up every day knowing one wrong move could mean instant death. That's the reality for landmine clearance technicians, people who work in war-torn countries like Afghanistan, Cambodia, or parts of Africa, where millions of unexploded landmines are still buried underground. Their job is to slowly, carefully search through fields, forests, and villages with metal detectors, trying to find hidden landmines. When they hear a beep, they have to lie down, use a small shovel or brush, and dig gently, millimeter by millimeter. One wrong scrape, boom! They wear protective gear, but honestly, it doesn't help much if a mine goes off. The worst part? Many of them do this job for low pay, and they often work for nonprofit organizations, not big companies. Some even do it to protect their own communities. It's slow, dangerous, and extremely stressful work. But without them, children might step on a mine while playing, or farmers could get killed in their fields. These technicians are true heroes, saving lives one landmine at a time. If you've ever seen the show Deadliest Catch, you know what this job looks like. Crab fishermen in Alaska head out into freezing waters, often during winter storms, to catch king crabs in one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. The waves? As tall as houses. The water? Ice cold. If you fall in, you've got about a minute to live. These fishermen work on slippery decks with heavy steel cages, sometimes in total darkness, while the boat rocks like crazy. Injuries are common. Broken bones, fingers crushed by machinery or worse. And it's not just the ocean. Hypothermia, exhaustion, and mental fatigue are constant threats. Every year, lives are lost. Entire boats sometimes disappear in storms and are never found again. So why do they do it? Money. A single fishing season can bring in tens of thousands of dollars, but they earn every cent with risk, sweat, and pain. They're not just fishermen. They're warriors of the sea. How far would you go for a paycheck? For tower climbers, up is the only direction. These workers climb radio and electricity towers that can be over 300 meters tall, sometimes higher than the Eiffel Tower. Their job is to fix, inspect, or install antennas and cables at terrifying heights. There's no elevator. They climb step by step, carrying tools with only a harness and a rope between them and a fatal fall. The wind? Brutal. The view? Incredible. The danger? Constant. One wrong move, one loose clip, and it's over. Even experienced climbers have fallen. And here's the thing. They do it all while working around live wires, which can carry hundreds of thousands of volts. One accidental touch, and they're gone in a flash, literally. Why do they take the risk? The pay is good, but most climbers say it's about the challenge, the freedom, and the adrenaline. These people aren't just brave, they're borderline superhuman. Deep in the jungles of Africa and South America, thousands of people risk their lives every day digging for gold. But not in high-tech mines. These are illegal, makeshift mines dug by hand with zero safety rules. These miners work in dangerous tunnels with no helmets, no oxygen systems, and no protection. The walls could collapse at any moment. Sometimes entire tunnels cave in, burying dozens alive. There's no emergency rescue, no ambulance coming. If something goes wrong, that's it. To make things worse, these areas are often controlled by gangs or armed groups. Even if miners do strike gold, they might get robbed, or worse. And let's not forget the toxic chemicals. Many miners use mercury to separate gold from rock, and they do it with their bare hands. Mercury poisoning can destroy your nervous system, but it's cheaper than machines. Still, for people with no other options, this is their only way to make money. Some earn just enough to survive, others die trying. It's one of the dirtiest, most dangerous jobs on the planet. And yet, it's still done by hand. In many parts of India, thousands of people are hired to clean sewers manually. That means crawling into dark, narrow, toxic pits full of human waste with no protective gear. These workers are often from lower castes and face discrimination. They're expected to enter manholes barefoot with just a bucket and rope and clean out blockages using their hands. It sounds medieval, but it's happening right now every day. The dangers are real. Toxic gas can knock you unconscious in seconds. One breath of methane or hydrogen sulfide, and it's over. Many workers have drowned or suffocated while on the job. Some even clean entire septic tanks on their own. Despite the danger, they're paid very little, sometimes less than $5 a day. And most don't have insurance or health care. Many die young. It's a heartbreaking job, but these workers keep cities running. Without them, waste systems would collapse. They may be invisible to society, but they carry an enormous burden every single day. It might sound peaceful, cutting trees in the forest, breathing fresh mountain air, but logging is actually one of the deadliest legal jobs in the world. Logging workers use powerful chainsaws and huge machinery to cut down massive trees, some as tall as buildings. But trees don't always fall the way you want them to. One wrong calculation, and a tree can crush a worker in seconds. They also work on steep hillsides in rain, snow, and icy conditions. Slipping, falling, or getting hit by falling branches is extremely common. Machines can also fail. Blades break, cables snap, accidents happen fast. In the U.S., us loggers have one of the highest fatality rates of any job. It's not just the danger, it's the isolation. Many work in remote areas with no hospitals nearby. If something goes wrong, help might be hours away. Still, demand for wood and paper is high, and someone's got to do it. These workers face danger every day so we can have floors, furniture, and books. Imagine flying in a helicopter, wearing a metal suit and reaching out to touch a wire carrying 500,000 volts of electricity. Sounds insane? That's just a normal workday for high-voltage line cleaners. These brave workers are responsible for cleaning and maintaining power lines that stretch for hundreds of miles. Dust, pollution, and bird droppings can cause power failures or even fires. So someone has to go up and clean them. They often use helicopters to hover next to the lines. The worker wearing a conductive suit reaches out with a special tool to connect with the line. Sparks fly as they equalize the voltage. After that, they begin scrubbing the wires, right next to deadly electricity. One slip, one wrong movement, and they could be electrocuted instantly. Even with training and gear, the job is extremely risky. Most people wouldn't even go near those lines. These workers fly right into them. Why do they do it? The pay is high, and they take pride in doing a job that very few people can handle. They keep the world's power running, one dangerous wipe at a time. Their photos are breathtaking. Lions in mid-roar, polar bears in the Arctic, or snakes in the jungle. But behind those amazing shots are people risking their lives. Wildlife photographers. These photographers travel to the most remote and dangerous places on Earth to capture the perfect shot. That means camping in freezing temperatures, hiding for hours in mosquito-filled swamps, or crawling just meters away from a predator. They often work alone, without backup. If something goes wrong, an angry animal, a venomous bite, or an accident, there's no one to help. Some have been mauled by bears, bitten by snakes, or even eaten alive by the creatures they were trying to photograph. But it's not just the animals. The weather, terrain, and isolation can be deadly. One photographer got stuck in a snowstorm for days. Another nearly drowned trying to photograph hippos. So why do they do it? Passion. They love wildlife, and they want the world to see it too. Every photo you see in a magazine or documentary might have come at a huge cost. You've probably seen them. Tiny figures hanging from the sides of skyscrapers, wiping windows hundreds of feet above the ground. These are the people who keep our cities shiny, skyscraper window cleaners. Their office is a thin platform or a rope harness, swaying in the wind with nothing but glass and air in front of them. A mistake could mean a fall from 50 stories up. Even with safety gear, accidents happen. Equipment can break, weather can change suddenly, or buildings might not be properly maintained. They work in sun, wind, rain, and even snow. Just imagine cleaning glass while a thunderstorm rolls in, or when the wind pushes you like a kite. It's physically demanding and mentally exhausting. Some workers develop vertigo or anxiety from constantly being so high off the ground. Despite all this, they're not highly paid. In many countries, they're contractors with no benefits or health insurance. Still, they keep going, risking everything so the rest of us can enjoy the view. Most people run away from volcanoes. Volcanologists run toward them. These scientists study active volcanoes to predict eruptions and save lives. But to get the data they need, they often hike straight into danger, walking across lava fields, climbing smoking craters, and camping on mountains that could blow at any time. The risks are huge. A sudden eruption, toxic gas, or lava flow can kill instantly. In 1991, a famous team of volcanologists was caught in a blast in Japan. All of them died along with 40 others. Even when volcanoes aren't erupting, the work is tough. The air is thin, the heat intense, and the terrain unstable. Equipment is heavy, and there's no road, just rocks, ash, and danger. So why do they do it? Because the information they collect can save thousands of lives. The better we understand volcanoes, the more time people have to escape when one erupts. They're not just scientists, they're life-risking explorers. So next time you're feeling exhausted from your 9 to 5 grind, frustrated by endless meetings, or irritated by your boss, pause for a moment and think about this. Right now, someone is climbing towers in lightning storms. Someone else is crawling through dark, narrow tunnels beneath our feet. Others are suspended hundreds of feet above the ground, handling high-voltage wires just to keep our world running. They're not just doing a job, they're showing courage, dedication, and resilience every single day. They remind us that our comforts, electricity, clean streets, internet connections, exist because ordinary people perform extraordinary acts. Let's take a moment to honor these unsung heroes, the people whose faces we'll never see, but whose bravery shapes the world we all depend on. Stay humble, stay grateful, and if this inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe. We've got many more powerful stories to share. Coming soon.